Hi folks. Boy, there is so much fear and uncertainty out there right now with the markets and with jobs, with sheltering at home and social distancing and everything else. When that happens, the fear and the anxiety can sometimes cause people to make some mistakes. And whether this lasts for a few weeks or a few months, there's some real critical mistakes that you cannot afford to make with your credit and your credit rating. And we're going to discuss today in thecreditjungle.com how to preserve your credit score and your credit rating in these uncertain times. So my name is George Anderson. Thanks for dropping in. And let's just talk a little bit about the reality of some of this situation. Last week, I had two borrowers, two separate files where people, younger couples, were purchasing a home. And in both cases, one of the spouses got laid off. One was a temporary, it was 2 weeks for a definite period of time, but another one was an indefinite period of time. And it's uncertain how that's going to affect their desire or their ability to be able to qualify for a home. But whether you're buying a home or not, there's some things regarding your credit that you really need to understand. So the first thing we want to talk about is, what is considered late? So as far as the credit bureaus are concerned, you're not late until you're 30 days late. So that means if your payment is due on the 1st or the 10th or whatever, if that payment posts with the creditor by 29 days after the due date, you're not late. Now, you can have some late fees, and certainly on a mortgage you're going to have late fees if the payment comes in after the 15th of the month, but it's not going to report late to the credit bureaus until it's after 30 days late. So at all costs, you want to make sure that you're making your payments on time, and there's certain accounts where you can actually dial back a little bit. Student loans, a lot of times you can send in a ridiculously small payment. A lot of people like to pay a little extra than that. Pay the minimum payment at minimum for doing that, and then the same thing with your credit cards. I realize that you might pay some more interest, or you might have interest accumulating on top of interest, but make sure that those minimum payments get made. A lot of people will think that because they have a tax return or a tax refund coming sometime down the road, maybe 45 days or 60 days from now, it's like, well, I'll just wait until I can pay it in full, and I would rather just send in the full balance of $500 or whatever it might be, and then that payment gets posted late rather than having a $20 or a $25 payment right now so that the account stays current and paid as agreed. So just be aware of that and make the adjustments where you need to. The other thing I want to talk about is items that only report to your credit report and affect your credit score when you don't pay them. Most of us have a lot of bills that we pay every single month, and we have no benefit at all for our credit score. So one of those would be our cell phone bill, our utilities, insurance payments, cable, things of that nature. Those might be contractual agreements, and granted, you need your insurance, you need your lights and your water and everything else. But those things don't show up on your credit report, on your payment history, unless you don't pay them. Now, it's very unlikely that your insurance, that you would lose your coverage, that your utilities would get shut off, your cable bill or your phone bill, if you rolled 30 days late and maybe paid those 6 weeks to maybe within 60 days of the due date. And it looks like there's some financial relief packages and everything else that the timing of those will certainly give you enough time to modify that behavior. But again, you're not going to get dinged on your credit report if your insurance payment or any of these utilities or your cell phone bill are not paid within 30 days of the due date. So just keep in mind where you can prioritize your debts, because again, this is something that may last for a few weeks or a few months, but after the dust settles, there's going to be people that the confidence is going to come back, the rates are going to be good, there's going to be people buying houses, and there's still a shortage of houses in Utah, and you want to be able to position yourself so that you can qualify and get the best terms of the loan. And you certainly don't want to see that your credit score, one 30-day late payment that's been very, very recent within the last 60 to 90 days, can cause you at least 50 points or more on your credit rating, on your score. And that's either going to affect the terms of your loan, or it may knock you out to not be able to qualify at all. So again, this is going to pass, and when it does, just be smart about how you prioritize your debts so that when it's time to go back and re-engage into the market, that you give yourself the best advantage. So thanks again for coming into thecreditjungle.com. This is George Anderson. Push button, get mortgage professional. I would love to talk with you personally about your situation. Have a great day, and I hope this was helpful for you.